Alrighty. You ready? So, hi, I'm Micah.
I'm Beth.
I'm Monica.
And I'm Bailey.
This is my story.
I wanted to be seen, heard, and known. I heard you were having a party again, and that you would be drunk and or high again, but I didn't care. I didn't have a reason to care.
You handed me a beer and told me it was your last, so I owed you, and you asked me how drunk I was.
I didn't think to care that you asked.
The drunkenness set in, and my next memory came from outside your apartment, smoking with my friends, with your friends.
I didn't think that asking for your coat meant anything. I didn't think it was a signal, an opening for you.
Walking back inside into your apartment, my friends fell away from the group, and it was you, your friends, and I. I didn't think anything of it.
I didn't think I wasn't safe.
In your apartment, the party was still going on, and I went to return your coat to you in your room.
My mistake.
We went unfollowed by my friends and yours, and soon the drunkenness was accompanied by a high. Sitting on the edge of your bed, moving was a thought, not an action.
My mistake. I could feel your hand on my upper thigh slowly moving upward. You told me I was safe because you had locked the door and turned off the lights, but then I cared.
I could stop if you want me to, but I know you don't. You repeated too many times, and each time reinforced its inverse. You didn't know, and I wanted you to stop.
I left your apartment at 2:15, my shoes untied and my shaking hands holding nothing.
Sitting alone in my apartment, feeling violated and alone, I remember how you talked about your drunken hookups, how proud you were. The 9 women you objectified, used for your pleasure and then hardly remembered. Then I realized.
You didn't see your actions for what they were.
I was incapable of saying yes, of saying no. I was unable to speak.
I was not seen, heard, or known, just another one of the 10.
This is my story.
I'd met you a couple of times before, but I'd never really talked to you or carried on a true conversation.
I was sitting on the couch, you on one side, my friend on the other, and somehow I ended up holding hands with both you and her.
My friend leaves, and it's just us on the couch with a couple other people in one of your brother's rooms. And I'm very aware of the fact that we're still holding hands.
Your brother's eyes flickered down to our hands, and suddenly
Everyone in the room decided we were going to fuck but me.
Your brother declared he was tired and kicking everyone out, and of course I ended up in your room alone against my efforts for more company.
The TV's playing and I'm wondering how I'm going to leave without rejecting you so you don't end up hating me.
Of course, you start kissing me, and I'm telling myself that I need to stop it over and over again, trying to figure out a mitigated way to halt what was happening.
I sacked up and make it stop, apologizing all the while I do. You say, okay, we'll just watch then, but we're still sitting invasively close to each other.
You make a joke and say you deserve a kiss for making me laugh, and you start into it again.
All the confidence I had built up before I say no is reset, and this time you make it to the point where you're unbuttoning your shirt before I can stop you.
We resume watching again, but this time you hold my legs in your lap and I don't know how to move them.
I feel guilty. I don't know how to widen our proximity, so you feel less encouraged. You make me feel like I'm agreeing to whatever you want to do by not moving farther away from you. In my mind, I'm calculating how much money I have and if I can afford to get a ride home.
I know I'm too drunk to walk by myself, and you're the only person that would be able to walk me to my dorm. And I know I don't want you anywhere near my home.
You try again, wearing down my mental ability to reject you, and I'm losing confidence in my nose.
You start unbuttoning my pants, and I know I can't put off saying no again. I stop you for a 3rd time.
You say, okay, but I feel a hand back on my leg in a couple minutes, and I say I have to leave. I say I have to wake up in my own bed, and I can't judge things right when I'm high.
You tell me I can sleep on your couch, and you force me into talking my way out of your house.
I feel guilty, like I should have been able to leave sooner before I had to tell you no. I'm scared you'll hate me for saying no.
And tell your brothers not to welcome me back.
I hate the places where I can feel you touch me, but I still want you to like me and approve of me, which makes me feel ashamed.
So I went home and fell asleep, feeling small and alone.
This is my story. All I wanted to do was go out and have some fun with my friends. It was an innocent night, and I was playfully tipsy, not nearly drunk enough for how I felt later.
I'm not trying to poison you or anything, a friend of a friend said as she handed me a drink.
I trusted her because she was a she, but I never thought about you being behind the whole thing.
I then found myself in the back of an Uber that I didn't call, asking myself, how did I get here?
I need to puke, you guys. I really, really need to puke.
Suddenly, I wake up on Sunday, thankfully in my own bed. I spend the entire day with chills, the worst nausea of my life, and no memory of what caused it.
You do not have a face to me. You only exist in that drink and in how ashamed I felt.
Even after all of it, I still find myself saying,
At least it wasn't worse.
And I'm thankful that I was safe with my friends and could take the bullet for whoever your intended victim was.
I wish I could simply be grateful for a fun night with friends, but instead,
I'm just thankful
that a drug in my drink was the only unwanted thing I received that night.
This is my story.
I loved you, and I thought you felt the same.
As those many months went by, I clung on because I had nothing else.
I put up with the beratement, the mind games, the yelling, all of it. Stupid, pathetic.
A waste of oxygen, you said. You made me feel like no one else could love me.
You got high from being in control of how I felt, and I knew that from the start, but I was too scared to leave.
When I would cry at night in our bed, you would turn away and tell me to just go to sleep.
You hated me because you knew that
As a woman, I was everything you could never be.
I tried to be more quiet, more soft, less myself.
Less woman.
You stifled me, and you knew it.
This is my story.
You're beautiful, you say. Beautiful girlfriend of all radiant beauty, you insist.
Oh, I say thank you. I acquiesce.
But what I really say is no, not right now. I don't want myself. I do.
You like my sadness? You say my ugly crying means I'm living and feeling and experiencing the gamut of human emotions and it's valuable?
Take me seriously.
My brokenness is not lovely and noble. Cute and angry are not two adjectives you get to use to describe me at the same time.
Hear my voice. Hear me.
If you try and kiss me, my words will cut through your throat open.
My self-love will not come from attempting to find beauty in things about me that are not beautiful.
It has to come from me being who I am, what I am.
You know what changed everything for me?
Realizing that I'm smart, realizing that I can write, realizing that I'm funny, and with all of those things, people hear me.
See me, and when I make someone laugh, I do not see my messy hair or the shape of my body. You have to know that being beautiful in that moment is irrelevant.
It doesn't matter if it is beautiful that I write and speak, or if I am beautiful while I write and speak.
I care about you as a person, and me as a person, and the crushing psychological weight of being alive. It is all beautiful.
All beautiful. It really is. But I don't care. Doesn't need to be.
If you're going to love me,
Love me because I live.
and because I'm something that no other human is, and because my story matters, and the future of my story matters.
You will love me because we all have a little bit of wanting to save the world in us. But it's okay if we only save one person. And if that's okay, if that person is you.
I don't care if I'm beautiful. If I am, then I'm happy. But it is okay for me not to be.
You can think I'm ugly so long as you think I'm wonderful.
These
are our stories.
Micah's story is
Beth's story is.
Monica's story is
Bailey's story is
your story. These are our stories.